Hi, and welcome to the Virtually Yours podcast, Outsourcing Mysteries Exposed, the no BS hustle-free podcast for business owners who outsource or provide outsourcing services. I'm your host, Rosie Shiloh, virtual assistant advocate and owner of Virtually Yours, the virtual assistant network. Let's get started. Hi everyone, welcome to this episode of Outsourcing Mysteries Exposed, where I have got the lovely Kylie Chown here, who is a LinkedIn expert who I met at the Australian VA conference earlier this year. Welcome, Kylie.
Hi Rosie, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here today.
Oh, it's a pleasure. As I said before, I loved your presentation at AVAC, and LinkedIn is one of those things where I've resisted it over the years. So for you to keep my interest while you're talking about it is a great thing. So,
awesome.
Yeah. So tell me, what got you into LinkedIn as an area that you want to focus on?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So for me, I actually had a career management business before I had this business. And before that, I actually had a tech background, so an IT background. And so I think initially it was that whole technical aspect of LinkedIn that got me really interested in it. And then I guess originally we were working with a lot of job seekers and professionals on LinkedIn, to help them use LinkedIn to essentially get a new job. But what I found is, especially over the last 3 to 5 years, is there's been a real shift in LinkedIn and how businesses can use it to help support their business.
Yeah, excellent. What an amazing background to take you into LinkedIn. I'm so glad I asked that. Yeah. So you're now training people on LinkedIn for strategies and so businesses as well as people looking for work?
Yeah, so there's a split at the moment, but definitely more into the businesses. So I'd say about 80% of the clients that we work with are business clients who are looking to, leverage LinkedIn to support their business. So it might be to get new clients and to get leads. It might be speakers who are looking to use LinkedIn to get speaking events. It can be people who are professionals in their industry looking to be recognized as industry experts through speaking events and things like that. So it can be really quite diverse, the clients that we have and how they use LinkedIn.
Excellent. That would keep it interesting at least.
Sure does.
So as most of the people who would be listening to my podcast would fit into the micro or small business criteria, why would they want to be using LinkedIn?
Yeah, so I think that's a really great question. And to be honest, I feel like they're a really great audience, or a really great user of LinkedIn. And the reason is if you're a smaller business, a consultant, a coach, or like you say, even a micro business, you're competing against bigger businesses who have, like, sometimes they've got big budgets and lots of money and things like that. So what I like about LinkedIn for this audience is, you can really present yourself online, and generally with those sort of businesses too, you're the face of the business. So LinkedIn is a really great platform to put you as the face of the business out into the market. It gives you access to decision makers that you would not have had before through searches and things like that. And I feel like it really gives a platform to leverage the advantages of having that type of business. And to me, that's, people can work with you directly, and that's really appealing. So LinkedIn is a really great platform to be able to bring you out in front of those potential clients.
Oh, nice. Well said. You've just sold me. I'm done. So I'm using LinkedIn. I'm trying to use it more at the moment. One of the things that frustrates me a little bit is the unsolicited emails.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
Yeah, definitely. So I think that's a bit of a challenge. And I know that there are a lot of people who get emails, and those really spammy emails or salesy emails, and I did a training last night, and we were talking about the exact same thing. One of the ladies there was like, these people keep asking me for coffee and I don't want to have coffee with them. Like, I don't even know them. And I think that's the point, is that people try and rush it and do things too quickly. So so definitely that's a strategy that you don't want to do, because you know what it's like to be the receiver of that. Generally, to be honest, if if I get those kind of messages, I tend to ignore them or leave them. And just kind of park them aside. You can set up, the cool thing is though, you can set up rules in your Outlook so that then you can get those messages sent there as well. So they're all filed for later.
Yeah, absolutely. I do the same thing. I either delete them or just I just don't have time for it.
Yeah, exactly. And I kind of feel like I hope that if enough people, if they don't get the response that they're wanting to get, then that might be a trigger for them to change their strategy as well.
Oh, we can only hope, but there always seems to be some out there.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was thinking we could do a whole session on when LinkedIn messages go wrong.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Excellent. Sorry, you look like I cut you off there.
Oh, no. You're right. Sorry.
No, all good. So what I find is, if I'm getting the emails and I'm thinking, this is annoying, you're jumping the gun a bit.
Yeah.
If the other side of it though is if they're just like, hi, nice to meet you. If you want anything, touch base, and then I'm like, no, not really. So, so even though they're being nice, unless there's like a specific, really personal kind of call to action.
Yeah.
So people on LinkedIn and say, look, so-and-so was telling me about you and I was wondering about this particular project. Like it's actually specific rather than I heard about you and I thought you might like this, or I heard of you and thought, I could buy this off. Like just that whole, rather than selling straight away, I use it more to connect for some form of collaboration or answering of questions to help the relationship.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's a really good strategy, because what you're doing is you're going and not exactly. You're not asking something of them straight away, which, I think, and again, I was actually saying this last night because they were saying, do you have rules around LinkedIn? And I was like, always go back to, like, my compass for it is if I wouldn't do this in like real life, I won't do it online. So, if I'm not going to walk up to someone and say, hi, I'm Kylie, buy my program, like that's not a strategy that I would do online because it's not something I would do in person. So I think that's a really good gauge for, is this appropriate? I kind of feel like sometimes people are like online and they forget that they're people. I just don't know what happens to them.
It's true. They forget that you're all people.
Yeah, exactly. So I think if we can go back to, and the specific example we were talking about last night was endorsements. So people, I don't know if you've had this, but people endorsing you who you don't know. Yeah.
Or for something you don't even want to do.
Yeah, exactly. And they were like, well, should you be doing that? And I was like, no. So, if you wouldn't be comfortable to say, hey, Mary's awesome at accounting to someone else, then I definitely wouldn't put that in an endorsement as well.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
When years ago, I used to do a lot of web development and the virtual assistant type of work.
Yeah.
And I was getting endorsements for stuff that I just didn't want people to ask me to do.
Yeah.
So LinkedIn was obviously, and I haven't seen this for a while. You know how it used to suggest the endorsements? Is it not doing that anymore?
Yeah, so not as much. And what you can do while we're just talking about it, is you can actually hide some of them. So if you were getting endorsed for things that you didn't want to be endorsed for, you can go and hide them and take them off so that doesn't happen.
Oh, good. Because, you're just like, they think that you're amazing at transcription, for example, which is like my definition of torture. And then people go, hey, can you do this for me? And you're like, hell no.
What would make you think?
I know. It was just because it's recommended all over my LinkedIn page by people I don't know.
Yeah.
So another side of LinkedIn that basically every side of LinkedIn I kind of struggle with. So I'm a perfect person to interview you. Is groups. I've got a group. I'm like the worst group manager you've ever seen. And I just don't feel a connection with people in the LinkedIn groups that I'm in.
Yeah. So LinkedIn groups about 6 months ago underwent a bit of a makeover.
Yeah.
So you would have seen some changes within that. I feel like LinkedIn is still working on groups, and I feel like they're going to bring out more changes to groups. So with LinkedIn groups, it's personally a strategy that I use. I have clients who use it but I can definitely appreciate they're not as engaged as, you know, maybe a Facebook group or something like that where you've got that engagement. The good thing about LinkedIn groups, though, is it does allow you to communicate directly with members in the group. And especially as a group owner, you can also then communicate with people within that group as well. So I think LinkedIn groups are, I kind of feel like they are a bit underutilized, and I feel like they're going to get better. So just hang in there.
All right. Okay. I'll hang in there. I've also had LinkedIn ask me recently to do advertising with them. That's fairly new though, isn't it?
Yeah, so LinkedIn advertising is something that I'm particularly interested in at the moment. So I did some training in LinkedIn ads. It was towards the end of last year. And again, LinkedIn has made some changes to the platform with LinkedIn ads. I actually run ads myself. I've got clients who we work with ads. What I like about LinkedIn ads is the targeting. You can have really, really super specific targeting. So you can target by, you know, job title, but where they work. You can target by where they used to work. There's a massive amount of targeting in there, which is good. One of the I guess more negative aspects of it is it is more expensive than some of the other platforms ads products. So it really comes down to knowing I'm going to try not to get too technical, but knowing your customer acquisition cost and then knowing if that ad spend is worth it. So, you know, and maths isn't my thing, but, you know, if it costs you $10 to get to that point of a conversation as a result of an ad, and you convert it 50%, and then that's $20. Is that a fair acquisition cost for that customer lifetime value? So if people want to do ads, I think it's really important they know their numbers, their conversion numbers, because then we can figure out pretty quickly if it's worth looking at. The other thing with LinkedIn ads too is generally I'll use it to scale something. So I would be really hesitant to do an ads campaign as to get proof of concept. But once we've run, you know, if we've run something through LinkedIn organically and we know the numbers and we know it gets good results, then what we would do is use an ad spend to scale it. So just to get more of that.
So like the equivalent of a boost in Facebook?
So there's 3 types of ads you can have on LinkedIn. You can have LinkedIn Messenger ads, which are the ones that come through like your Messenger. You can have text ads, which sit down the side, and sponsored content. The Messenger ads I tend to stay away from. They're expensive, and I feel like LinkedIn Messenger ads are a bit invasive. Like you're in my inbox and I didn't ask.
It's kind of like door knocking, isn't it?
Yeah. Why are you here? So didn't you see the sign? No. I think text ads text ads can work, but they do look very ad-like. 90%, I'd say even 95% of the ads that we do are sponsored content ads. So they're the ones that you see in the news feed. The cool thing about those is they're pay per click, not pay per impression.
Nice.
Yeah. So because they're pay per click, you only pay if somebody clicks on your ad. So if we've got a really great ad copy, then you'll click through. Again, not assuming all your numbers are going to work. It can be a good option.
That is good. Yeah. I much prefer pay per click.
Exactly. Yeah.
Impression is annoying. And then especially when you see it in your own feed.
Yeah.
Like, did I just pay for that? I close my eyes.
I didn't see it. And you do get less impressions. Like you will get less impressions. But again, it's, you know, I find with LinkedIn, it kind of goes back to clients. If you're looking in that space, it's more about it's generally a higher value, lower volume product. So it's not that you necessarily need to get a whole lot of impressions and a whole lot of stuff.
I think it would be so much easier to target business owners, for example, on LinkedIn than you would on Facebook, because they've got to put that in there. They put in what their status is around how they're working, what their roles are. Whereas on Facebook, it's about sort of their interest. Is that what they do? Like it's not actually specifically, you're not labelled. You're a director or a, you know, executive manager or something like that.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the dog. All good.
Sorry. It's like he's been quiet all day.
Of course.
Of course.
The dog agrees. That's what we're going.
Yes.
But yeah, you could be so much more. As you said, the targeting is good.
Yeah.
Because the titles are there.
Yeah, that's right. And I think, you can target, you could get, then your ad copy would map to that. So I could target, accountants in Brisbane. And then in my ad, I could say, hey, are you an accountant in Brisbane? Here's a LinkedIn checklist for you. Here's this for you. Here's something for you. So again, we've got the targeting, and then our copy can match our targeting, which can be really engaging from a user. Because if you're on LinkedIn and you're like, are you yeah, I'm an accountant. Yeah, I'm in Brisbane.
Fancy that. That's what I am.
Me. So
yeah, I love that. I'm definitely going to give that a go, because it's one of the biggest gambles with Facebook advertising and Instagram, is that you're hoping that that's what they do.
Yeah, exactly. And your targeting can go down to job title, how many years they've been in that role, where they work, what industry they work. So are you an accountant in the hospital? I'm picking on the accountants today, but are you an accountant in the hospitality industry? Yes, you are, because we've targeted you. So yeah.
In brackets, I know you are.
You are. Yeah. Don't pretend you didn't see me.
Click now.
Yeah.
Well, you've just sold me on the advertising. Just
Awesome.
That targeting and the spot to be able to do the sponsored ads, because I'm the same. I don't mind seeing sponsored content.
Yeah.
Relevant, but ads I kind of ignore on the side, and I don't want them in my inbox.
No.
So,
yeah, definitely. Yeah. So and I think sponsored content too is good, and we kind of want to make it look like not an ad, just like normal content. Really. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like a link to an article or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I use it for webinars. So I'll say, I'll do it to drive traffic for webinars, maybe to a checklist, something that they can download.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so do we use hashtags in LinkedIn? Like, I know we do, but do people search much on hashtags in LinkedIn?
So really good question. So short answer is depends on your audience. So generally what I would recommend is have a topic hashtag. We always want to have a hashtag that's yours. Do you know what I mean? So we want to associate one hashtag with you that you use for everything. So then if I was like, looking at your stuff, and then I could look at your hashtag and get all your stuff. So we want one specific to you, one around the industry. People can select their interests and what they're interested in, and that'll pull that over from hashtags. The audience that I see use hashtags a lot are more media, like journalists, writers and things like that, who will search for people to get for contributions to their articles.
Yeah.
So that's how I would use it, and that's how I've been found and people will find my content and say, hey, I found your article, can we put it in, or can we share it, or can we link to it? So I think they are beneficial, but I think it does depend on what your strategy is and what you're wanting to achieve as well.
Well, up until you said that, I thought I had a strategy, but I didn't. So, because I was using the hashtags kind of like you do on Instagram.
Yeah.
You're kind of just describing everything and using those, every word you can think of.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you look at it in that way, that just changes it completely, which is fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, it's about making so for your hashtags on LinkedIn, it's about making your content easily sourced and people can find it based on your, so I'll use a lot of topical ones like LinkedIn, or like things that are kind of topical. So like online reputation management, those sort of words.
Yeah. And thinking about if you do want to get other people sharing your stuff, what they would be looking for. Yeah,
exactly. And I would definitely encourage people to have one that's associated with them, like your own one, which might be your name or your business name.
Yeah. I'm going to use both.
Hashtag Rosie.
Hashtag Rosie Shiloh. Hashtag virtually yours. Yeah.
Covered.
Yeah. So should I go back in and add those hashtags to stuff?
I don't know that you can edit them once you have put them there. Ooh. But we could find out. But even if you just did it moving forward, I think that's fine.
Yeah. All right. Well, that gives me less homework, so I like that. Excellent. That's really juicy stuff. I love that.
Awesome.
So what do you think is the most important thing for people to consider when they want to use LinkedIn and actually get a return on their time investment?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it goes back to that strategy and plan. And I think what it really goes back to is it, being aware that that's your digital first impression.
Yes.
So I think that's really important for people to understand that people will meet you online before they meet you in person. And then that actually becomes an anchor point for them. So once you've formed that perception of that person, and it's all this subconscious stuff that happens, it's actually quite hard to shift that. So I think the one thing that people like that I would like them to take away is just that awareness that, it could be potential clients who are Googling your name and finding your profile and then reading it and then moving on, and you totally don't even know that that's happened.
Yeah.
So I think it's just understanding that that forms part of that digital first impression. But then I think the really cool thing is that you can use LinkedIn and you've got full control over your profile. So you can present how you want to the market or to your audience. So yeah, I think that's kind of the main thing, is just understanding that concept and understanding, and then that's going to link back to what you put in your profile, because a lot of people go, well, I don't know what to write, or what do I have in a summary, or what do I put in my headline? What content do I share? Well, once you know who your audience is, it becomes a lot easier, because if I go, okay, I'm a speaker and I'm writing to, I want to be found for speaking events. My audience is event organizers. Okay, cool. That's who I'm writing to. So I've got that in my mind while I'm writing my content and my summary, and I'm writing to what they're interested in and things like that. If it's for a business, then I'm looking, okay, cool. So my clients, so what are my clients concerned about? So I shift from kind of writing about, or people shift from writing about themselves to being writing that's focused on their audience. So I think that's kind of the main thing, is that perception. And then the other thing is that just go back to that, I always go back to that compass of, would I do this in real life? Yes or no? If it's a no, let's not do it on LinkedIn or online anywhere, really.
If it's inappropriate in person, it's probably inappropriate.
Yeah, exactly. And I just think that's a really good way to think about. I met someone at an event, and they did this beautiful introduction about how they were going to introduce themselves on LinkedIn. And it was long, and it was very nice, but I was like, okay, cool. So you meet someone at an event, talk me through what happens. Oh, I go, hi, my name's Peter. Who are you? What do you do? Okay, so that's what we've got to take online. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't walk up to someone and just blurt out your life story and don't give them a, word in.
Yeah.
But you also don't run up to them and give them a passionate kiss and or yell buy my stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, baby steps, people.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think people feel like it's different online, but I think it actually is it's the same as
exactly the same.
Yeah.
It is. But you know what? I think because people can look at your stuff for a while online, they get that sense of familiarity, which is fun. We all do it, where we'll write to someone, we've looked at their stuff. They don't even know we've been looking at their stuff. We feel like we know them.
Yeah.
And so it's just a whole different kind of relationship. It's like when you're a celebrity and you know what they've been doing.
Yeah.
Even if this person's not a celebrity, you know more about them than they do about you. So it's a little bit uneven.
Exactly. And that's that digital first impression. You're watching them, you're seeing what they're doing, you formed an opinion of them by what they've been sharing. But then as a consumer, you feel more comfortable, like oh yeah, like I feel like I know them, and I know what they like, and I know how they do things. So then the person who's putting that image out, that to me, if you're having that experience, and that person's done a really good job.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
Hey, what you said about being able to control your profile and understanding what to put on it has just reminded me. I had a virtual assistant recently asking me, they've started up their virtual assistant business, and they're wondering what sort of content do they keep on there about their current employment, if they're still working and they're building up their business on the side.
Yeah, so really good question. So I would go back to what's the strategy for LinkedIn. So if the strategy is to purely build the business, then I would definitely focus on that.
Yeah.
Now, with her or him being employed at the moment, I would first check in on, is there any policy around that they need to be aware of, and is it appropriate, and just check where you're employed, their particular guidelines around it. However, if that was all fine and they were like, and it's funny, I've actually got a few clients at the moment who are working and building businesses online. And then it's just about showing, again, it goes back to, okay, they're building a business, they're looking for clients. What do clients want to see? And it would definitely be some content around her business now, but also previous, roles go to that experience. If you've had 10 years experience in the industry, I think that's definitely worth including, because it's going to validate what you're saying.
Yeah, that's right. And a lot of people, when they start up a business, they think, I don't want everyone to think I'm new. But what we want to know is that you've been doing the doing, not necessarily running your own business, doing it, but just doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Some depth of experience, some level of competency around it.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, that's actually inspired me to jump in there and do some more stuff. Is there anything that you can enlighten me on in terms of trying to get more conversation going on LinkedIn and traction and that sort of thing within the groups, if I'm sticking around with that and wait for that to become a main?
Yeah. So I think it's a couple of things. So I think it would be I think with groups, you're going to kind of get in what you put out as well. So I think sorry, that's not what I wanted to hear.
No.
I'm going to ask you that question again, and you can have another go at answering. No, but I definitely think about the audience in the group, and you could just run a content marketing strategy through there. So, sharing articles, anything that's going to be helpful for them. So again, they're the audience. What do they need? Putting content in there, but then asking questions, so, and if you want to get that conversation going, ask a question, but then you could even tag group members that have skills in that area or who would like to answer. That's a good way, because then they've been tagged, they're aware of it. So it might be, would love to get your thoughts, Mary, Peter, Bob, Jane. I'm really interested in what you guys have to say.
Okay, so really it isn't far off what we do in Facebook. It just feels different.
Yeah, I think it feels different, and I think it's not as, I think people are still getting comfortable in there. So yeah. And to be totally honest, I've got a Facebook group and I've got LinkedIn groups, and even my Facebook group is more probably more responsive than the LinkedIn groups.
Yeah, it seems to be the nature of the beast, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, but I think it's something, if we can build it now, and then if they evolve and get better, you're kind of ahead of everyone else in that you've got stuff going on already.
Yeah, excellent. Well, that's a bit of inspiration there. That's good. Beautiful. Well, that's all my questions that I've got on LinkedIn for today, and I'm actually really excited about some of that stuff, which is a big call. We'll see how long I stay excited, because I really do want to be using LinkedIn better. I see that it is becoming more and more supportive of businesses networking with each other rather than just people finding work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's nice to see that. And I want to give the advertising a bit of a crack, because that's exciting that it's...
Yeah, I really like it. Like I said, I use it for myself. I've got a couple of clients who are using it at the moment. And it's just I think the targeting is amazing. But my tip would be, don't just kind of go, oh, I've got something new and I'm going to run a ads campaign to a new piece of content that I don't have proof of concept of, because if it doesn't work, it can get quite expensive quite quickly, which is fine if you know your numbers and that, okay, it's likely that there'll be so many new clients as a result of this, and this is the value. Yeah. So my ad spend as a percentage is something that I'm comfortable with.
Yeah, so be smart with your figure.
Yeah, and I guess with LinkedIn ads too, like with Facebook, I find they kind of alert you to them, like that you've got them. No, LinkedIn ads, you do them, and you've got to kind of keep going in there, and you can put a close date on them, a finish date, but if you don't do that, they can just keep on ticking on. And so that's I was talking to someone the other day. I'm like, no, we put a close date on all our ads. And they're like, no, I'm like, no, we just put a close date on.
Always. Rule number one.
Yeah.
Close date.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, because you don't know what's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? Like if something happens to you, and which is.
Oh no! Imagine that, and the ad just keeps going. Oh no! And whoever's inherited all of your wondrous bills.
Yeah, get the LinkedIn ads bill as well.
I hadn't really thought of that, but anyway. So where can people go to get more information or to chat to you about LinkedIn strategies?
Yeah. So people are absolutely welcome to connect with me on LinkedIn. So they can find me in the search bar. That's probably the best way. Connect with me and then ask me any questions that they have through Messenger, or also check out the website, and there's different things on there that they can connect with as well, or just send me an email if that's the
So if they send you a message on LinkedIn that only says, hey, Kylie, buy my stuff, right? You'll know that they're from here.
I'll say, go and listen to Rosie's podcast.
And they'll go, I did. I'm just doing what Rosie told me to do. So that's awesome. Thank you so much for your time. Lots and lots of gems in there. Really, really appreciate it.
No, not a problem. Thank you so much for having me. And I really enjoyed speaking with you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
See ya.
Hey, thank you for listening to the Virtually Yours podcast, Outsourcing Mysteries Exposed. Between now and our next session, I know you're going to be hanging out to take some action on outsourcing in your business. So head on over to virtuallyyours.com.au and you can download some information there about the best ways to outsource for business growth. If you're a virtual assistant, make sure you join us. We have an amazing virtual assistant community at Virtually Yours, Aussie VAs connecting and helping each other grow. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you at the next podcast.